There was a really interesting write-up today on Arrowhead Pride by Nate Christensen about an offensive tackle prospect that I'm just going to be real honest with you guys. I had paid zero attention to him, and so I wanted to go over that, some thoughts on the prospect Jalen Travis, and then highlight two other offensive tackles that I think are being underrated right now. In the article titled Iowa State's Jalen Travis fits what the Chiefs like in their tackle, subtitled The Former Princeton Tackle Could Be a Viable Round 3 Option in Kansas City's Draft. I'm going to take the bottom line portion of the article. While Travis shows elite size and explosiveness, his draft stock has fallen because of concerns about his agility. This lowers his NFL ceiling because savvy rushers will find counters that take advantage of his lack of lateral quickness. But most mock drafts I've seen have Travis going on day 3, which I think is low. With his big frame, explosiveness, and film from a drop-back offense, I'd be comfortable taking him in round 3. In the NFL, Travis could be a decent stopgap solution, something the Chiefs could use. If the Chiefs have to wait to draft a tackle, Travis is one of the few I'd be excited to get, and he ranks him as a grade 3. So who is Jalen Travis? 6'8", normally listed as 6'7", 339 pounds. It's a big fella, and he looks like it. 10 and 1/2 inch hands, 34 and 7/8 inch arms, nearly 35-inch arms, an 83-inch wingspan, a 5.14 40-yard dash. That's listed at 75th percentile, but when you have 96th percentile weight and 89th percentile height, that's a really good number. Now, his cone drills are awful. 4.94 short shuttle and an 8.08 cone drill, 16th and 19th percentage respectively. And then his vertical leap, 99th percentile with a 35-inch vertical leap for an offensive lineman, and a 112-inch broad jump is 92nd percentile. I had completely overlooked this prospect. He is listed by PFF as the 193rd ranked prospect overall in this class. He is normally seen by everywhere I've seen as a third-round prospect through UDFA. If the Chiefs could get this guy as a UDFA, that would be phenomenal. He does remind me a little bit of Ethan Driscoll from last year's UDFA class, but it's Ethan Driscoll on steroids. He is a massive individual. He is powerful, and the concern is I don't know if he has the foot speed. So he has, as the article states, a limited ceiling, but I don't know if that is necessarily all that true. We see offensive linemen in the NFL all the time who make it work. He has a limited ceiling by what you can see on tape. If you can teach him a couple things to get around slower foot speed, if you can teach him a couple things to get around that, and he has 35-inch arms, and he has incredible explosion numbers of 35-inch vertical leap, 112-inch broad jump. If you can teach him just a couple of things, if you can get him a better first kick step, just that initial kick step, this guy he's got all of the tools, I guess I should say, to be a starting left tackle in the NFL. Now, there's probably 20 prospects a year that have all of the tools. Well, maybe not 20. There's at least 10 prospects every year that have the tools to be a starting left tackle in the NFL. It's not just about the tools. The thing with his foot speed is it is going to make him struggle, certainly as a rookie. if he can grow those tools, if he can work on that kick step, if he can learn a little bit of better hand placement that would get him in trouble in the NFL, getting those arms out there. If he can do that, then he's got a shot. I think that he could be a swing tackle, no problem. He's going to get pushed down some draft boards because of his quickness. He's going to get pushed up other draft boards because there's going to be teams who think, well, I could just put him at guard for the first couple of years he's in the NFL, spend 20% of his practice snaps at offensive tackle, and all of a sudden I've got a guy who is a 4-position player, left guard, left tackle, right tackle. So it's going to be the wide range on his sort of projections between the third round and a UDFA. That is because of he does have a definitive weakness in foot speed. He does have a definitive strength in kind of everything else, at least from what we can see. So there's going to be a lot of, it's almost poker. It's almost playing poker with a prospect like this. Who takes him and where? Now, the next offensive tackle that I want to talk about is Wyatt Milum. And I don't really know what happened to Wyatt Milum this season. I think that part of it is you look at that arm length, 32 1/8 inches. He's got borderline 31-inch arms. So that is going to be a problem for some people. That is going to be a problem in general, really. And his 40-yard dash is not great. So I don't care. Wyatt Milum started the offseason, the preseason, the college football preseason. Everybody was doing their top-ranked offensive tackles, top-ranked positional videos for all of the college prospects that they thought were going to come out in the draft. Wyatt Milum was in the top 5 of almost all of those videos. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but he was very highly ranked pretty much across the board. PFF has him right now ranked 91. So I think that is low. He's 6'6", 313 pounds, 10 1/4 inch hands, 5'2", 740-yard dash. The short shuttle and 3-cone drills are really pretty good. 4.69 short shuttle at the combine, 63rd percentile, and the 3-cone drill of 7.59, 75th percentile. Those numbers you can see them on film. He is a very active, very aggressive offensive lineman, 30-inch vertical leap, 108-inch broad jump. So nothing sticks off the page here with Wyatt Milum from a measurables perspective in the positive direction. You see that red. That's a very bad sign. Again, that's the arm length, and the wingspan comes as a result of it. The reason I don't really care as much is that when you look at him on film, he has very good feet. He is severely underrated as an athlete. He is aggressive. He can move. He does have a kick step. I think that this is a guy who finds his way into the NFL. He might take a year of learning, but I think he's going to start at tackle for somebody, and I think there's a good possibility that he starts at left tackle for somebody. And if he is drafted where he's ranked by PFF, you're looking at a guy who is borderline day 3, where someone could be getting a starting left tackle, probably year 2 or so. And I know that sounds wild. You're not going to get starting left tackles day 2, day 3, really. Look at the tape. Look at the tape and tell me I'm wrong. He is one of these guys who is very, very athletic. He just shows it all over the field. He chases players down. He moves very well, all of these things. So I think that is a very good player in Wyatt Milum that could end up being, no one's going to want to put him at left tackle because of his arm length. he's going to have to prove his way up to left tackle. And then finally, Emory Jones Jr. out of LSU, 6'5", 315 pounds, 10 3/4 inch hands, 34 1/4 inch arms, and a 5.30 40-yard dash. This is a fun player to watch. He is ranked 200th by PFF. He's a guy who is often getting just kind of listed as a UDFA. He has plays that will remind you of Trey Smith. He's got the same kind of build as Trey Smith, and he chases people down and makes them pay for wearing the opposite jersey. He is susceptible to speed as well. The interesting thing about his body is that he's very bottom heavy, so he has extreme balance. And he has such good balance that he might end up being able to defeat speed with his hands. Because if he can get that hand out there, 34 1/4 inch arms, 10 3/4 inch hands, if he can get that hand out there, get that hand on you, then you're not uprooting him. You're not going to make him lose his balance. And this is a guy that I think has starting offensive lineman potential. I could see him starting at guard somewhere. If some team that needs a starting offensive guard picks him up as UDFA even, I could see him starting as a rookie. There's a little bit of messiness to his game, and there's a little bit of perhaps overly aggressive nature to his game. But you would rather have over-aggression than under-aggression. You can tame that, but you can reel that in, but you can't really light a fire under a guy as much. But anyway, guys, the 200th ranked prospect here would be interesting to get him in that range because I do think that he is a guy that has starting lineman potential. I think that he could be a starting right tackle in the league eventually. He's one of those guys that you look at his profile, you look at what he can do, you look at what he has done, and those guys end up earning a starting right tackle job at some point. And then just the way that Joe Thuney did last year, obviously he was coming from left guard to left tackle, but you had Joe Thuney on the field. He was one of your 5 best offensive linemen. He was probably the most technically sound offensive lineman on your team. So you went ahead and you flexed him out to left tackle. Emory Jones is a guy that eventually gets a chance to play left tackle. Anyway, guys, that is what I have for this video. 3 underrated offensive tackles in this draft. If you like or appreciate what it is that I do here, hitting the like button really does help me out, as it tells YouTube to share this video with other Kansas City Chiefs fans. If you find yourself here by chance but not design, the Chiefs are the only thing I talk about on the channel, dropping multiple videos every single week. We are over 2 consecutive years of daily uploads on the channel now, and as always, I hope to have you back for the next one.